what I wanted to show here was the concept of a one-match fire and building that style of fire, and kind of how I use these different camp knives to maybe get there. As you can see, I got 3 different sizes of wood that I've cut up, supposedly anywhere from 1 match thickness to about 5 to about 10, and that was the idea, to get the 3 sizes going. And the first thing I want to do is in order to create the box style fire I want pieces about 1 inch thick. They can be round sticks or whatever. It's not meant to burn, it's meant to elevate the fire. And then I can take some other support sticks. They don't have to be necessarily meant to burn. They can be about this size. Here it's gonna hold up basically my tinder bundle off the ground, and I'll even use a couple of these because they're about the right size. Now, ideally, if you can control it, one of the things you'd like to have is the wind going in this direction. Kind of creates a draft. It's the style with the box. The idea with the box style fire is that it draws air from the bottom and out the top and gets it drafted really well. So next we're going to start with, I don't like that piece. Start with our small little pieces of wood that we've got going, and start laying these down. And the idea is that about every bit that you have a thickness of wood, you want to see about that much air through it. So I'm going to start stacking this up. So you always want about as much light between each stick as the stick is thick. Now, what I also want to do is you can see the breeze start to blow this. The idea is to have the breeze come this way, so if this starts to get to be a problem, the other thing you can do is now use a couple little bit bigger logs to give you a little bit of wind block on either side. It'll still let you get your airflow up and through, but also gives you some block. I'm going to change these a little bit. Now the next thing I want to do before I start adding these bigger pieces is I want to add some really fine curls here. Now, people that have been using a knife quite a bit, it's easy for them to just start making fuzz sticks. And those would work fine, but the problem is usually most people that don't use knives as much as we do, you go show them how to do that, and then you watch them to do that the first time, and it's really clumsy and really difficult. So, you know, they want to make fires too, so that's probably not the best way to teach them. So there's another grip that I like to use for that. The other method that I like to do that to start making little fuzz shavings for that, and it's not going to work real well here because you need a spot for them to go and catch, but you'll get the idea, is that you actually grab the knife backwards in a reverse grip like this, and then what you do, instead of trying to cut like this, which is all forearm and wrist power, you grab it backwards, you hold it steady against you, and then you can use all your shoulder power and back power, which you're a lot stronger with, and you can just start taking out little pieces, and all these little pieces like this you can start adding to the top of here to help your fire catch. Now that grip is one that I think is really useful and really important to me. So if you look at some of these other knives I've got in here, I'm not a big fan of this style of feature with the little thumb grip there, or the little indent between your first and second finger, because it's nice when you go to grab it this way. You go to spin it around and you can already see what's going to happen. That is digging right into the palm of my hand. And for some things it doesn't feel all that bad. Once you start trying to lay into something like this, and it starts digging into your palm after a while. and it starts getting uncomfortable kind of quick. I really like the handle on the Coyote for this. It's a pretty simple and nice handle. Making all kinds of little shavings. You just gotta work well if you actually had a spot that you're closer to the ground and they could fall into instead of me having to pick them all up. That's what I'm doing, is picking all these little curls back up. And one other knife I want to pick up here is Rick's, just because with this curvature on the back, that fits really nice into your hand both ways. So you can use that for a few. You can really see how the hole type action I'm doing like this is a lot better use of energy than trying to put both hands out here and trying to scrape away like that. I mean, it works too. It's just I don't think it's as efficient as this, especially for people who aren't used to doing it or aren't that strong. So now I got a million chips all over the place. If I can just find them and pick them up. Then the idea here is to have all these little curls, be able to go to start my fire easily. I once heard a guy say that fire starting is like Chinese cooking. All the works in preparation, when you actually go to light it, that should be the easy part. So now I got this little tinder bundle of about 1 match thicknesses. I got all these little shavings ready to go on top of it. And then I can use my support sticks to get some of these bigger pieces in here. Anyway, just an excuse to show you how maybe some of the handle shapes play into some of the stuff that I like to do when using knives for fire building. So that's a long way of going about it, but that's kind of what I wanted to show real quick. And obviously, light that from beneath. I don't want to do it on the log, but that should burn pretty good. And then we can